Hello and welcome back to Shelf Centered. This is Bryce. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing. If this is something you end up enjoying, you never know, it could happen. Anyway, I am doing a review here. This is for a pretty recent near future sci-fi book by Nick Harkaway that is Titanium Noir. Now, if you have not read anything by Nick Harkaway, I would strongly recommend that you correct that. Not only does he have The Gone Away World, which is just nuts, if you like just kind of some absurdism, but also some really good plotting and just some good humor too. You've got The Gone Away World with mimes, ninjas, what else? Anyway, all kinds of fun things. Also, I think my favorite entry point for Nick Harkaway has got to be Angel Maker. But anyway, this is not about those books. This is about Titanium Noir. This is a book that I listened to on audiobook. It was narrated by Davis Brooks. I'm going to go spoiler free here, so no spoilers here at all, but I did want to talk about Nick Harkaway is actually, and I just learned this actually recently, I did not know this when I first started reading / listening to his books. He is the son of John Le Carre, and I just, apparently that's a very famous author I really don't know much about, but anyway, that's pretty cool. I like it when they keep it in the family, and Nick Harkaway on his own merits is just an excellent author, really knows how to turn a phrase. It's just some really good like exceptional writing, I think, and like on the upper tier, not just trying to get things done, but really like focused and has a way to turn that phrase, and I really appreciate that. But Titan Noir, just to get kind of a quick synopsis of it, essentially it's this near future actually where humanity's found a way to prolong lives, right? What else are we looking for ever but the fountain of youth, right? But this way, what is discovered is essentially this serum that can essentially starts the aging process all over again. The problem is when that happens, when you are an adult and you're already a full-sized adult, well, you go through the aging process and the growing process yet again, just like brand new. And so that's why they call it titanium, titans. It's all about titans. And so the real, and this is really only for the very rich. I mean, not just rich, but the very rich. And they can have, they have the ability to essentially become titans. They become these giants because they're growing. And so you have 7, 8, 9 foot tall people around because you're not just limited to one time. Now, of course, there's some issues with having multiple doses. You know, when you're reaching that age, you never know. What would you do, I guess? But anyway, I thought it was a really interesting take. It's the noir is that it's also very much a detective story. So there's a murder, and it's a Titan, and so the special Titan investigator has been called in. So Cal Sounder only gets called in when it's special Titan-related stuff. The police don't always love calling him in, not unlike Harry Dresden. And but he gets called in when it's Titan related. He's got some mysteries to him and some connections to this Titan world, but he is not a Titan. Doesn't have the bucks for it, especially, but that's just the beginning. So of course it's a lot of the same detective tropes, right? And I thought I read somewhere in some of the promotional material is like, it's a cross between Philip K. Dick and Raymond Chandler. I thought that was pretty fair. I've read some Raymond Chandler. It's great. Again, just those detective things that, you're following the trail, you get misled, you follow the next, lead and then something else, then there's a betrayal or whatever, and you can't trust, blah, blah, blah. It's all in there, and it's great. It was a really fun look, and especially in this kind of interesting world that could very well be real, right? And that's what's cool about it. I really liked about that it's plausible, and it kind of dives into this idea that these titans, right? These people now are living, not just a single lifespan, but multiple lifespans, and they kind of start to look at normal people, right, as just, hey, you don't really know anything, you're barely involved in life anyway, I endure, and just how they kind of treat those around them. It's really interesting though, the kind of setup and just following around, not only learning kind of the mysteries about Cal Saunders and you know, who he's had to shake up before in the past and how he gets his information. It's just really clever, really fun. It didn't necessarily have the typical Nick Harkaway humor that I've grown to love and appreciate, but it did have the good writing. It's just excellently written, and really just a fun premise that if you like a detective story in kind of a Philip K. Dick world, I mean, I think it's just such a blast. That's the perfect description of it. And if those things, you know, make you feel good, then absolutely go for it. I would absolutely do it. So if I were you, you know, not to mention, so it wasn't a terrible entry point for Nick Harkaway. I thought it was pretty good if you like those types of things. I still think Angel Maker's the best entry point. Hey, Editing Bryce here. Hey, forgot to mention about Davis Brooks, just his audiobook narrating. I thought he did a really good job, actually. Just kind of was kind of perfect for the noir, the detective kind of type atmosphere, and so really did a good job of just kind of playing it really straight and just walking us through it. I thought it was just a really well done job. I'm gonna go with a solid 8 out of 10 shelves. This was a really solid book. I really enjoyed it. It's not my favorite, again, by Nick Harkaway, but it's also he doesn't really, like, he's got like a super top tier for me and then like a slightly under that tier. So I'm a huge fan. I need to read more and the rest of his catalog. And anyway, can't recommend this really enough. And let me know, have you read any Nick Harkaway? What are your feelings? How have you been introduced to it, to him? I tried to get family members to read it. Not a fan. They just, I don't know, it was like too wordy or too purpley, I don't know, or too, they just, anyway, didn't appreciate it to the level that I did. And so maybe I'm wrong. This is one, Nick Harkaway is one that I've failed on as a book recommender. I hope on the whole, though, that I get it right, because Harkaway has not failed for me. I love it. And so anyway, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.